Hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terrence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, July the 12th, and there's a lot of planetary activity, and a lot of it is positive. Let's start with Monday the 12th. The moon is in Leo. The moon sets the public tone. Leo is extroverted, outgoing, playful, romantic, creative energy. Mercury, what is on our mind? What are we discussing? What are we thinking about? Mercury is in harmony with expansive, optimistic Jupiter. Now, this could be a very favorable day for traveling or making travel plans. It's a very favorable day for uploading new content on your website or onto YouTube, because that Jupiter is all about publishing and marketing. And it's very favorable for making educational plans. On Tuesday, the moon has now shifted into more sensible, practical Virgo, where when the moon was in Leo, Leo is a fire sign, very combustible and fiery and dramatic. But when the moon goes into Virgo, it's an earth sign, more grounded, more practical, more sensitive. However, it's not going to be a boring day because pleasure-seeking Venus is aligning with Mars in dramatic Leo, passionate Leo. Now, this can, depending on where it falls in your horoscope, the Venus-Mars could trigger an intense infatuation, falling in love at first sight. With an existing relationship, it could be really turned on with each other and bringing some romance into the mix. But Venus-Mars is not just about the romantic pleasures of life, because Venus is very creative. This can be a very creative, passionate time to really go for your goals in life. Wednesday, the moon continues in sensible Virgo. It's going to be in harmony with the Cancer sun. Cancer's a water sign. Virgo's an earth sign. This is why it's compatible, because earth gives substance to the water so it doesn't spill all over the place, and the sun brings life to the earth so it's not all dry. This moon, sun in harmony, great for feeling comfortable, great for interacting emotionally with others, is particularly strong in between 6 and 8 p.m. Pacific time. On Thursday, the sun in Cancer is going to be in harmony with Neptune in Pisces. This harmony is a trine. It's what we call the trine aspect. It's a 120-degree aspect. So there's a lot of flow between the sun, which is putting a real spotlight on what's important, to Neptune. Well, Neptune can give a very spiritual day of Neptune, kind of an altruistic, charitable day. But Neptune can also trigger the imagination. So that can all be a highly creative day, as well as a day of giving and inspiration. The moon will be entering into sociable Libra at the beginning of the day, 7:32 a.m. Pacific time. So the whole day is pretty sociable. The Friday, the moon continues in Libra. There aren't any other planetary events going on, and the moon is not making any other aspects with other planets. So it's basically a calm day. But having a calm day with the moon in Libra, Libra wants to socialize, wants fair-mindedness, wants peace, wants diplomacy. So not only is it a calm day, but it's a really enjoyable and sociable day, and it's Friday. So Friday evening, going out with friends and loved ones, enjoying yourself. Saturday, the moon will go void of course from the first part of the morning till 11:39 a.m. Pacific time. When the moon's void of course, as I say every week, it's no longer making any activities with other planets, so the energy is flat. You wouldn't want to start an important new undertaking because the energy is just not productive for it would take so much more effort to accomplish your goals, or it just doesn't really get off the ground. But come 11:39 a.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into intense, passionate Scorpio. And all during the day, the sun is in opposition or interacting with Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So it's a day of major passions and intensity and change. But especially when the moon goes into Scorpio, 11:39 a.m. Pacific time, it can trigger a lot of intense passions and intensities. Sunday, the first part of the day, the moon in all or nothing Scorpio is going to be in a challenging aspect to restricted Saturn, starting around 7 a.m. to maybe 9. Then the moon will be in opposition or confrontation with rebellious Uranus from noon till about 2 p.m. Pacific time. So the first part of Sunday could be the moon Saturn, just might be feeling stuck and worried. The positive then of the moon Uranus is like breaking out of your rut, getting excited, breaking through. The worst case scenario would be if you're realizing that an emotional attachment doesn't work for you anymore, and it makes you sad because you're going to let it go. And then when the moon hits Uranus, Uranus is that planet of liberation. But even if it's a goodbye, you would be feeling free. You would be feeling liberated. Now, before I sign off, I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. To be able to order it, just go to the home page, click on the tab that's marked Advisors, scroll down to get to my name, just click on it, and then you can submit your question to me. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.